Hey, beautiful Taurus souls. Come sit with me because what I discovered in today's reading is going to shake you to your core. I'm talking about revenge, retaliation, and those people from your past who think they can just waltz back into your life to settle old scores. The universe has been whispering some serious warnings, and I cannot keep this to myself any longer. You know how we Taurus people value loyalty above everything else, right? We give our hearts completely. And when someone betrays that trust, it cuts deeper than anyone could imagine. But here's what's coming up in your energy field right now, and honestly, it's both terrifying and empowering at the same time. I shuffled my deck this morning and the cards were practically jumping out to tell your story. The energy around revenge and past enemies is so intense right now for Taurus that I had to do this emergency reading. Someone is plotting, someone is planning, and the cosmic forces are aligning to either protect you or teach you the most important lesson of your lifetime. Before I dive into these cards, I need you to understand something crucial. Revenge isn't always what we think it is. Sometimes the universe handles revenge for us in ways we never expected. Sometimes we become the instrument of someone else's karmic lesson. And sometimes, just sometimes, we have to choose between becoming the villain in someone else's story or rising above the entire mess. The first card that flew out of my deck was the King of Swords, and oh my god, the energy behind this card is absolutely chilling. This isn't just any King of Swords energy we're dealing with here. This is calculated, methodical, surgical precision revenge energy. Someone in your orbit, probably a man or someone with very masculine energy, has been planning something against you for much longer than you realize. This King of Swords represents someone who doesn't just get mad, they get even, and they're willing to wait years if necessary to execute their plan perfectly. The sword in his hand isn't just for show, it's sharpened by resentment and polished with patience. This person has been studying you, learning your patterns, understanding your weaknesses, and they think they've found the perfect moment to strike. But here's what's fascinating about this King of Swords in your reading. He might think he holds all the power, but the universe is showing me that his own calculated nature is going to be his downfall. You see, when someone spends so much time plotting revenge, they become consumed by it. They lose sight of their own life, their own growth, their own happiness. They become a hollow shell filled with nothing but vendetta. The King of Swords is also showing me that this person feels intellectually superior to you. They think they're smarter, more sophisticated, more strategic. They've probably dismissed you as just another stubborn Taurus who won't see their attack coming. But what they don't understand is that Taurus intuition runs deeper than their calculated schemes. Your earth sign wisdom connects you to truths they can't even comprehend. This energy is telling me that this person has been spreading rumors, creating alliances against you, or setting up situations designed to make you look bad. They're the type who would manipulate circumstances to make their revenge look like justice. They want everyone to think you deserve whatever's coming to you. But the most disturbing aspect of this King of Swords energy is the coldness. This isn't passionate revenge born from hurt feelings. This is ice-cold, methodical destruction. This person wants to dismantle your life piece by piece, and they want you to know they're doing it. They feed off your awareness of their power over you. However, and this is crucial, the King of Swords also represents justice and truth. The universe is showing me that while this person thinks they're playing judge, jury, and executioner, they're actually walking straight into their own karmic trap. Their obsession with revenge is blinding them to the consequences of their own actions. The second card that demanded my attention was the Four of Cups, and this is where your story gets really interesting. This card is showing me that you've been in a state of emotional withdrawal, possibly for months now. You've been feeling disconnected, maybe even depressed, and you can't quite figure out why. You've been rejecting opportunities for joy, pushing away people who care about you, and generally feeling like nothing good is coming your way. But here's the thing about the Four of Cups that most people miss. This withdrawal, this emotional numbness you've been experiencing, It's actually been protecting you. While you've been in this cocoon of indifference, your enemies have been frustrated by their inability to get the emotional reaction they were hoping for. They've been poking and prodding, trying to get a rise out of you, and your natural Taurus stubbornness combined with this Four of Cups energy has made you virtually unbreachable. The figure in the Four of Cups sits with arms crossed, completely unimpressed by the cup being offered from the divine realm. In your case, this divine cup represents opportunities for healing, forgiveness, and moving forward. But you've been so focused on your own inner world, so protective of your emotional state, that you haven't even noticed these opportunities for grace. This card is also revealing something profound about the nature of revenge in your situation. Your enemies expected you to react, to fight back, to give them the drama they were craving to justify their continued attacks. Instead, your Four of Cups energy has given them nothing to work with. You've been like a stone wall that absorbs their negative energy without giving anything back. But there's a warning here too. The Four of Cups can become a prison if you stay in it too long. While your emotional withdrawal has been protective, it's also been isolating you from the people who genuinely want to help. You've become so suspicious of everyone's motives that you're rejecting authentic offers of support and friendship. The most beautiful aspect of this Four of Cups energy is that it's been teaching you the power of non-reaction. You've been learning that you don't have to engage with every provocation. You don't have to defend yourself against every accusation, and you don't have to prove your worth to people who are determined to misunderstand you. This period of emotional hibernation has also been preparing you for what's coming next. You've been building inner strength, developing spiritual immunity to negative energy, and learning to find contentment within yourself rather than seeking validation from others. These are exactly the skills you're going to need for the next phase of this cosmic drama. The third card in this intense spread was the World. And I have to tell you, when this card appeared in a reading about revenge, I got literal chills. The World represents completion, fulfillment, cosmic justice, and the end of a major cycle. This is telling me that whatever revenge plot has been brewing around you is about to reach its climax and resolution. The World card shows a figure dancing in the center of a cosmic mandala, surrounded by the four symbols of the elements, representing perfect balance and universal harmony. In your reading, this is the universe itself stepping in to handle the situation that human justice couldn't resolve. This is karmic completion on a scale that will leave everyone involved permanently changed. What's remarkable about the World appearing in this position is that it's telling me you're not just going to survive this revenge plot, you're going to transcend it entirely. This experience is actually the final lesson you need to complete a major spiritual cycle. You're graduating to a completely different level of consciousness and personal power. The World is also revealing that this situation involves much more than just personal revenge. This is ancestral healing, generational karma being resolved, and cosmic justice being served. The person plotting against you doesn't realize they're actually serving as an agent of your spiritual evolution. They think they're destroying you, but they're actually participating in your apotheosis. This card is showing me that you're going to emerge from this situation with a level of wisdom, strength, and spiritual authority that will be unmistakable to everyone around you. People who have known you for years are going to look at you differently, because you'll literally be operating from a higher frequency of consciousness. The World also represents mastery over the material plane. This suggests that whatever financial, professional, or social damage your enemies hope to inflict is not only going to backfire spectacularly, but it's going to result in you gaining even more success and recognition than you had before. Their attempts to diminish you are going to highlight your true value to the World. But perhaps the most profound message of the World in this reading is about forgiveness and release. This isn't the kind of forgiveness that pretends nothing happened or that excuses bad behavior. This is cosmic forgiveness that comes from understanding the bigger picture, seeing how everyone involved was playing their perfect role in a divine drama designed to liberate your soul. The fourth card that emerged with urgent energy was the Seven of Swords, and honestly, this card made my hands shake when I drew it. The Seven of Swords is the card of theft, deception, strategy, and getting away with something through clever maneuvering. In the context of revenge, this card is revealing some absolutely shocking information about what's been happening behind the scenes. Someone has been stealing from you, but not in the way you might think. They've been stealing your energy, your peace of mind, your reputation, and your sense of safety. They've been taking pieces of your life through carefully orchestrated psychological manipulation, and you probably didn't even realize it was happening. The Seven of Swords shows a figure sneaking away with stolen swords, looking over their shoulder to make sure they haven't been caught. In your situation, this represents someone who has been taking credit for your ideas, undermining your relationships, or positioning themselves to benefit from your downfall. They've been playing a long game of strategic theft, and they think they're too clever to be exposed. But here's where this gets really interesting. The Seven of Swords can also represent your own need to be strategic in how you handle this situation. The universe is showing me that you have information or evidence about your enemy's activities that they don't know you have. You've been quietly observing, gathering intelligence, and building a case without even realizing it. This card is also revealing that someone close to the situation is going to expose the truth. There's a whistleblower, someone who has been pretending to be loyal to your enemy, but who is actually documenting everything. This person is going to come forward with evidence that will completely change the narrative about what's been happening. The Seven of Swords is warning you to be very careful about who you trust right now. There are multiple layers of deception at play, and not everyone who appears to be on your side actually is. Some people are playing all sides, waiting to see who comes out on top before declaring their loyalty. Trust your Taurus instincts about people's true motivations. This card is also telling you that your enemy's greatest strength is going to become their greatest weakness. Their ability to manipulate and deceive has served them well up to this point, but they're about to overplay their hand. They're going to attempt one manipulation too many, and it's going to expose their entire operation to the light. The most empowering message of the Seven of Swords is that it's giving you permission to be strategic in your own defense. You don't have to play by rules that your enemies aren't following. You can be clever, you can be tactical, and you can protect yourself using methods they never saw coming. The fifth card in this powerful spread was the Ten of Swords, and I have to admit, when this card appeared, my first instinct was to worry about you. The Ten of Swords traditionally represents betrayal, backstabbing, hitting rock bottom, and the end of a painful cycle. But in the context of this revenge reading, this card is revealing something much more complex and ultimately liberating. The Ten of Swords shows a figure lying face down with 10 swords piercing their back, but if you look carefully at the traditional imagery, you'll notice something crucial. The sun is rising in the background. This represents the darkest moment before the dawn, the moment when you think all is lost, but transformation is actually beginning. In your situation, the Ten of Swords is showing me that your enemy's revenge plot is going to succeed in some ways. They are going to manage to hurt you, to damage your reputation, to cause you real pain. But what they don't understand is that their attack is going to free you from illusions you didn't even know you were carrying. This betrayal, as painful as it will be, is going to show you who your real friends are. It's going to strip away relationships that were built on false foundations and reveal the people who will stand by you when things get difficult. It's going to teach you about your own resilience and show you strengths you never knew you possessed. The Ten of Swords is also revealing that this attack is going to backfire in ways your enemy never anticipated. Their attempt to destroy your reputation is going to generate sympathy and support from unexpected sources. People who barely knew you before are going to rally to your defense when they see the unfairness of what's being done to you. But perhaps most importantly, the Ten of Swords represents the death of your old self. The person you were before this betrayal. The person who was perhaps too trusting or too willing to give people the benefit of the doubt. that person is going to die. In their place will be born someone wiser, stronger, more discerning, and infinitely more powerful. This card is also showing me that your enemy doesn't realize they're serving as an agent of your spiritual evolution. They think they're punishing you for past wrongs, but they're actually completing a cosmic process that needed to happen for your highest good. They're unwittingly participating in your liberation from patterns and relationships that were holding you back. The most profound message of the Ten of Swords is about surrender and rebirth. There's going to come a moment when you'll need to stop fighting, stop defending, stop trying to control the narrative. In that moment of surrender, the real magic will begin. Your authentic power will emerge from the ashes of your destroyed ego. The final card in this earth-shattering reading was the Five of Pentacles, and when I saw this card in connection with all the others, I understood the complete picture of what the universe is trying to tell you. The Five of Pentacles represents hardship, poverty, feeling left out in the cold, and struggling to survive. But in the context of this revenge reading, it's revealing the ultimate outcome of this entire cosmic drama. The Five of Pentacles shows two figures walking through snow past a lighted church window, representing people who feel abandoned by God and community, but who are actually just steps away from warmth and sanctuary. In your situation, this card is showing me that your enemy's revenge is going to leave you feeling temporarily isolated and possibly financially stressed. There may be a period where it seems like doors are closing, opportunities are disappearing, and people are turning their backs on you. Your enemy's campaign against you might succeed in damaging your professional standing or social connections. You might feel like you're wandering in the wilderness, wondering if you'll ever find your way back to stability and success. But here's what the Five of Pentacles is really showing me about your situation. This period of apparent poverty and isolation is actually a gift from the universe. It's going to strip away everything that isn't truly yours, everyone who isn't genuinely loyal, and every opportunity that isn't aligned with your highest path. The Five of Pentacles is also revealing that during this difficult time, you're going to discover resources and support systems you never knew existed. The church window in the card represents spiritual sanctuary and community assistance that's available to you, even when you feel most alone. Angels are going to appear in human form to help you through this transition. This card is showing me that your enemy's attempt to impoverish you financially or socially is going to backfire in the most unexpected way. Your apparent loss is going to generate such an outpouring of genuine support that you'll end up with a stronger network and more resources than you had before the attack. The Five of Pentacles is also about learning the difference between true wealth and false security. Your enemy is going to strip away things you thought you needed, only for you to discover that your real power comes from sources they can't touch. Your authentic relationships, your spiritual connection, your creative abilities, your inner strength, these are the treasures they can't steal. Most importantly, the Five of Pentacles represents the final test before breakthrough. It's the darkest hour before dawn, the moment when you're tempted to give up just before the miracle arrives. Your enemy's revenge is going to push you to your limits, but it's also going to reveal that your limits are much further than you ever imagined. The combination of all these cards is painting a picture of a cosmic drama that's much bigger than simple human revenge. This is a story about spiritual awakening, karmic justice, and the transformation that comes from walking through fire. Your enemy thinks they're writing a story about your destruction, but the universe is actually scripting your apotheosis. What I want you to understand is that this situation isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. Every betrayal, every attack, every moment of feeling defeated is actually preparing you for a level of personal power and spiritual authority that will be unshakable. Your enemies are unknowingly serving as agents of your evolution. The revenge that's coming isn't going to destroy you. It's going to reveal who you really are underneath all the roles and masks you've been wearing. It's going to show you that your true strength doesn't come from other people's approval or from external circumstances. Your power comes from your connection to something much greater than human drama. I need you to remember that as a Taurus, you have access to Earth energy that runs deeper than any human plot or scheme. You're connected to forces of stability, growth, and natural law that operate on timescales your enemies can't even comprehend. Their revenge is a temporary storm, but you are the mountain that weathers all storms. The universe is asking you to trust the process, even when it feels like everything is falling apart. Trust that every loss is making space for something better. Trust that every person who betrays you is revealing their true nature so you can make better choices in the future. Trust that every moment of pain is teaching you something you couldn't learn any other way. Your enemies don't realize that by attacking you, they're actually accelerating your spiritual growth and pushing you toward your destiny. They think they're holding you back, but they're actually propelling you forward into a version of yourself that's so powerful, so wise, so authentically successful, that their attacks will seem pathetic in comparison. The cards are showing me that when this cosmic drama reaches its conclusion, you're going to look back on this time as the period when your real life began. Everything before the betrayal will seem like preparation, and everything after will be the authentic expression of who you were always meant to become. Stay strong, beautiful Taurus souls. The universe has your back in ways you can't even imagine right now. Trust the process, trust your intuition, and trust that sometimes the greatest gift comes disguised as the greatest betrayal.